Good evening, everybody. I am going live on this November Friday night where it is still like close to 70 degrees here. Tomorrow it'll be up in the 80s. It's crazy. Um, so I wanted to kind of like come on and just try some things out. I'm working with some new software and just trying to get used to it. Um, But I thought I would share something that happened last night. I was actually working on some action plan type stuff. I have goals in life, and the only way we can get to our goals is to create an action plan. But that's another topic for another night. Um, anyway, one of the things that had come up was this thought just kept going in my mind as I was writing some things down, and it was like, people always say choose your heart. And like I said, I was doing some writing. I realized I've made a lot of choices in life just to pass on choosing my heart. Um, because the idea of something being hard was so overwhelming, it made my anxiety disorder more aggravated. There we go. That's a good word for it, aggravated. And you know, and then I realized at some point that I'd spent a lot of years um, in a joyless life. The only thing I felt like that brought me joy at those times was my husband and our three kids because I was so filled with anxiety all the time over everything that I was miserable. That was my heart in life at the time. And the thought of adding something else to it, like goals and, then having to work for those goals was overwhelming because I was barely surviving a day. So I feel like I've come a long way since then, obviously. Um, and that train of thought kept me going. My husband has been um, on disability since he was 33. We're looking at 18 years now. And I got to thinking, did he get to choose his heart in life? Um, you know, nobody asked to be sick. Nobody asked to have health issues or chronic pain, or um, we certainly don't ask for anxiety disorder. We would rather have anything but that. Um, but he didn't really get to choose his heart. His heart um, was just kind of thrust on him. It wasn't something that he deserved. Um, it wasn't anything he caused. Um, it's just bad genetics. And um, I just thought, maybe that is the heart I chose at the time, um, because I've chosen to stay by his side because I can't imagine a life without him. Um, I mean, I didn't fall in love with him because he was 100% perfect and healthy, right? And obviously, I really meant until death do us part here, but I also meant and then sickness and health. Um, and we're in a sickness period with him. And I thought, so that was my hard while also trying to fight my own internal battle that constant fight or flight feeling that's just in your head nonstop, just on a loop, playing over and over. And you think of every worst case scenario. And I know I'm probably preaching to a choir out here if you're living with anxiety like I do. And I was paralyzed. I mean, I was just frozen in life. I didn't do anything that didn't revolve around my husband or my kids. And that's not terrible. I mean, it's good I was with them, but I kind of lost who I was too because of my anxiety. So when I really started learning better tools to rewire the thoughts in my head, because that's what it really boiled down to, is I had to learn how to rewire my brain. A lot of research on that out there, and it didn't happen overnight. But the more I practiced, the less panic attacks I was having. Um, and when I say tools, I use a lot of positive self talk, because when you're in the middle of an anxiety attack, there's a lot of negative self talk. And if you can talk to yourself negatively, you can talk to yourself positively. Um, and of course, I didn't believe myself at first, but the more I did it, the more um, I did um, start believing it. Now I'm about 5 years out from this big breakthrough I had with my thoughts finally, where I realized I was finally able to use the positive self talk, use positive affirmations, and rewire all that negative um, stuff going in my head. My anxiety was reduced. I'm not having as many panic attacks. I'm not going to say it's gone completely because it just happens sometimes without any trigger. And those are probably the worst panic attacks. But now I'm in a place where I enjoy life, and I've found joy in so many areas of my life. It's not just my husband and my kids. Of course, now I have a grandson added into the mix, and he is absolutely the joy of my life. And but I have animals. I have my writing. I have my network marketing business. I have friends, I have things that I'm doing. I do some volunteer work with a mental health nonprofit. And again, like I said, this didn't happen overnight. And I wasn't in some perfect place for it to happen. I did it all scared. And I finally chose the hard of working on my anxiety and retraining my thoughts. Um, because something in my brain just kind of was like, it certainly can't be any harder than having panic attacks from the time you wake up in the morning to the time you go to bed at night. So, yes, I chose a new hard. I chose the hard to work on myself. Um, Again, I'm not, like I said, I'm not cured, but I have the skills and the coping mechanisms, healthy coping mechanisms, to get rid of those anxious thoughts. And it's made me start doing more in other areas of my life. Like, I'll probably say this a lot. I was a network marketing failure for over 20 years with I don't even know how many companies, until I found the current one I'm with. And then everything started changing. Um, and I've found by trying to work on my anxiety, that doing little bite-sized pieces works better than trying to eat the whole thing at once, right? And, I'm doing that with my network marketing business. I'm learning to create new mini habits, um, and I'm having to retrain a lot of old habits that were not the best habits. Um, and I'm doing it all scared. Um, but I'm gonna have my dream life, and I'm gonna love every second of it. And I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to go on this journey to get there. And I'm gonna do it scared. I'm choosing my hard, and I'm doing it scared.